Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today on Tallidus Plays, we continue our Project Zomboid Build 42 playthrough, featuring the They Knew mod, which allows us the opportunity to find cures for the Knox virus. On our previous episode, we actually ran across the helicopter event a little bit earlier than standard in the playthrough. We officially confirmed that, yes, the water is off, so whatever's left in the sinks is all we've got. On that note, we're going to take a quick drink here. And we actually found the first couple hazmat suit zombies on the last episode. We were able to take them out, but unfortunately we were not able to loot their bodies, so we might look into doing that on today's episode. On that note, I think we might consider a little change of scenery here. I'm kind of looking over the map for Build 42, overall, not just including West Point itself, and I noticed there's a few newer locations, primarily over in Louisville. There's actually an airport now next to Louisville. I don't have that uncovered on my map itself, but I am aware of its existence. So I think we're going to try to start making our way towards that airport. Now, it is technically beyond the exclusion zone, which is basically a large perimeter fence that's been erected around Louisville since the start of the outbreak. And there's really no way to get past it unless you have a sledgehammer, or there's a couple points of entry, but even then you sort of need a sledgehammer in order to get past the fences. So luckily we do have a sledgehammer. We looted one a couple days ago, and we actually know the location of a second sledgehammer in a van nearby. So what I'm considering doing is actually jumping in a vehicle and loading it up with all of our current supplies, and potentially making our way towards that airport for long-term survival base. On the way there, however, we're going to make a couple pit stops. We know that there is a mall, not the main mall of Ohio that is in Louisville proper, but sort of a smaller mall that is a little bit east of the drag strip that's northeast of West Point. So our current plan is going to be to basically head down east, do a little bit more looting at the mechanic store in West Point. Again, we're looking for a couple items, mainly the generator manual and the generator itself. And then we're going to take all that in our probably Jeep is what we'll use, maybe the van if I can get it in working condition. And that is all going to be taken to our long-term survival base. Again, I would like to really base up at the airport, but again, with Build 42's zombie distribution... Oh, let me turn this back on. I don't think we were done there. Yeah. Anyways, with the Build 42 zombie distribution being more dense in urban areas, the airport might be a little crowded, so we might have to make an alteration to our plans. However, on that note, I'm going to grab a little bit of food for the road here today. We get some chocolate donuts, some chocolate cake slice, and what is that? 3 chocolate donuts and a chocolate cake slice. Yeah, we'll hang on to these, carry them with us as we go. And I'm going to start basically getting ready for this move. So for starters, I know we have some more loot down here. We're also going to grab the Jeep. I left the Jeep at a house over here on the previous night because we were in a pretty bad way after a day of fleeing the helicopter. We kind of stirred up all the zombies in the West Point area. So after doing that, I think it's not a bad idea to maybe switch up our location. Hop in here. My only issue with the Jeep is that it does not have a lot of storage. The trunk is fairly small, only 31. It's only got 2 seats. You can only really use one of them for storage. So I might be trying to requisition the van that we saw earlier, but it depends on how many zombies are in that area. I'm going to go into this house. I know I have some more looted items stashed in here. So we're basically going to just start kind of gathering up all of our looted items together and making one big sort of stash. I'm going to eat this chocolate bar for now. I don't actually know if I kept anything super valuable in this particular house. I think this was just sort of a sleeping area in the short term, so let's go back. Take this up to the house we started the episode in. Again, as you can tell based on the blood that we have on our hood, this is Jeep has seen a little bit of action in the previous couple days. Ooh. Sounds like somebody might have just found their own demise. But again, what are you gonna do? We keep on keeping on. Okay, what do we have in here? So this is a lot of weaponry that we discovered. So we're gonna take all that. Again, I'm trying not to grab anything that is not super useful, so we're keeping just the weapons for now. Weapons, medicine. Honestly, I'm not going to bring that much food. We need a little bit of food to make the trip, but I don't really want to waste a lot of inventory on food items because they will just eventually go bad on us. We're definitely bringing all these garbage bags, though, because we will need them for our rain collection barrels. What else can we bring here? All this first aid we will take. Again, we have some non-perishable food items, but I'm really not worried about bringing all these. And again, it's not the worst thing to have a little stash that we leave here in West Point. Definitely bringing the crowbar, the hatchet, and of course, here we have the all-important sledgehammer. This will weigh me down extremely overloaded, so I'm going to be limping to the car here. Hopefully, I don't get too much muscle strain. If you're overloaded on build 42, you start to get muscle strain in your torso from carrying all that extra weight. So keep that in mind. Try to keep your trips minimum with a lot of weight on board. Let's see, all this goes in the trunk here. Again, we're going to keep all of our delicious donuts and cake on our personal inventory for now. And that sledgehammer, that's a doozy. It's six kilos of weight, so it's really hard to lug around, but it is definitely worth having a sledgehammer because of all the access it grants you. All this is going in the trunk as well. All those garbage bags. Looks like we might be throwing the shotgun in the passenger seat here. Now again, I'm not a big fan of weapons, but I really don't turn them down when I find them, because they can be quite rare in the long term. And then if you get better, also build 42, they've made, let's see, passengers, okay, so I need to slide over here actually. In build 42, they've made things a lot more accessible in terms of actually using weapons, or firearms to be more specific. So it's something to keep in mind. So no mistake, I put the shotgun in the front seat here. Ironically, that is literally riding shotgun. But also, shotgun is probably the best weapon or firearm to use for leveling your ability up. I think I must have hit a critter just there. We'll see. We're going to see what else we have here to bring along with us. Leaving the key in the ignition, because this is going to be a very brief in and out kind of trip. I know we have a few more items that I want to bring with. We got more nails, duct tape, of course electrical, which if we can't find any other sort of source of the generator magazine, we will have to just level up electrical the old-fashioned way by disassembling every alarm clock and digital watch in the greater Knox County area. But I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. Let's see. I keep finding zombies coming through this room. That's why I haven't been sleeping in here. It's a postcard from Hollywood. That's kind of fun. Okay, nothing major there. Double check in here. Yeah, we have a few more weapons. Oh, that's all we can grab, I guess, for now. So these are the normal. What else do we have? My ID card. We'll grab our ID card just for sentimental values. A couple pistols. The wood saw, we'll bring that because that'll come in handy for boarding up and creating new planks for our base. Just like that, we're already almost overloaded again. No food in here to speak of. We got our West Point map, which we've already read, so I'm not worried about. We'll grab a flashlight, because also it is very hard to see at night, especially when the power goes out in build 42. Darkness is genuinely an issue for survivability, so keep that in mind as well. Let's get in our Jeep, and let's move some of these over to the shotgun seat there. What else do we got? We don't need to keep our ID on us unless we get stopped by a police officer, but if he's tapping on our window, I don't think he wants to see our ID. I think he wants to see our brains. Eat this chocolate cake. And again, we'll dump all these items into the passenger seat as well. Oh, well, I guess that's all we can do for now. Okay. Well, still a little overloaded, unfortunately. Maybe I can throw this pistol in the back. Yeah, that's all overloaded. Okay, well. Huh. Can I store something on my back? I don't think so. Let me see. Maybe I can throw the pistol in the glove box. It's not a terrible place to have it. There we go. You just don't want to be overloaded, especially while you're driving. It's unnecessary damage. But yeah, without further ado, I think we might start heading in the direction of Louisville. Now, I say the direction because I don't expect her to get there in one day. It's already 9:40 right now. If we could stop and get gas on the way out of town, that would be nice. But my bigger concern is getting the virus cure. I know one vial of which should be fairly close by. We hit a hazmat suit zombie with our Jeep just the other day. And I believe, actually, that's one of them right there. So let's leave the engine running. I might try to wipe him out real fast before the others catch up. This could be a great grab. Let's see, Zomboxer Ampule. We'll take that. I'm going to do a loop around and see what that tactical satchel looks like. I don't think I want to mess with fighting all these zombies, though. But yeah, that is... Hell Vapor Glass cures the zombies. Yep, so that is one of the cures, actually, right there. Okay, there's nothing in the satchel, so I'm not really worried about grabbing it. We're just going to get out of here for now. But that is fantastic. We already got our first cure. As you can see, it actually adds to your hunger. It makes you more hungry when you take it. So, I guess the directions genuinely imply to take with food. We knocked out a couple other... or at least one or two other hazmat zombies. I believe one was over here, somewhere in this area. Got backed into them just the day before today. If I recall, let me see here. Maybe not. Oh, yep, there he is right there. Alright, so we'll do another quick in and out here. Take these zombies on a bit of a walkabout. Okay, well, let me run around here to grab this. Again, I'm basically just avoiding combat entirely right now. We're going to draw them away. I'm going to run back and grab that ampule. We'll get right back into our Jeep and keep on driving. Fortunately, we have a few late joiners to the party. It's going to be close. Should be able to get out of here just in time. Again, that's why we left the engine running. Look at that. We got two now. There was one other that I know we knocked out during the helicopter event. However, he might be in a very tricky area to access, so I think we might just call it right now with our cures. 2 doses is a nice start. And again, we're never... Wow, okay, that sounded like a machine gun going off in the distance. Oh, so let's turn on the AC. It's a little toasty in here. You can turn that on if your temperature is spiking. Right now we're at almost 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Which any car without AC on will get that temperature pretty quick. I would love to be able to get some gas, but this gas station looks a little crowded, so I think we're just gonna bypass this for now and make our way out of town. Yeah, again, all this sort of zombie leftovers. A couple loot runs that I did earlier in the playthrough, but mostly from the helicopter event. That's the reason you see all these bodies laying around town. But our big takeaways are definitely some of the weapons that we have on our character right now, as well as the zombie virus cures. Primarily the sledgehammer is another great thing to find. Now, I know I hit a zombie over near the gun store on the northeast side of town, but I also recall we were dragging quite a few zombies when we did that, so we'll swing by just to see, but I'm not making any commitments right now. Yeah, they're all still kind of shambling. Yeah, see, everybody's trying to get into Stendo's Firearm Emporium. High quality products at reasonable prices. But I think it's not really worth it. There's no reason to get bit trying to get a bite cure. So we're gonna just do a little U-turn and head back towards the east side of town. Ah. Again, you don't want to be rolling over too many zombies in a vehicle, especially if you're planning on doing a slightly long road trip with that vehicle, as we are today. The only other thing I might do is stop by. I know that there's a kind of a mechanic shop here on the far east side of West Point, right ahead of us here. And last time we came through here during the helicopter event, it was actually fairly clear. I did a loop around. I didn't go inside, but I didn't see too many zombies kind of floating around. So we might get lucky here. And if it's still pretty empty, we'll have our pick of the place. Yeah, look at that. We got one in the parking lot, a couple on the inside. I'm actually going to turn the engine off for this. And again, primarily our objective here is to get the generator magazine and a generator. Even if we don't actively carry it with us, this is still a fairly accessible location, which means we can always come back around for the generator. Magazine's light enough, we can actually just bring that with us. I mean, hell, we could even read it in the parking lot if we wanted to. Desert Eagle pistol. Not bad. We got those nice boots, too. Let's go ahead and let the cop out here. Actually, might just take care of them inside. Okay. We'll lead out our joiner here. Looks like they have a interesting something on their back. A twig? Is that a bamboo? I have not seen that before. Just looks like a big old piece of tree or something. A tree branch. Okay, yeah. We'll grab this hunting knife. That could come in handy. Leather gloves. There's actually 1530. I think they're better than what I'm wearing. Yeah. We'll switch these out. Condition could be better, but I'll take it. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. Hopefully that's not the Knox virus. I don't know, we'll see. Alright. Let's take a peek in here. Again, there's going to be a lot of things that are tempting to grab, but we don't have a ton of room. Rubber hose, I will grab. Getting fuel out of a vehicle is not as simple as it used to be. So in addition to having a receptacle to hold your gas, you also need a rubber hose to get the gas out of vehicles. So we're going to grab that. Let's see. Car batteries, battery charger. I'm only going to grab the one rubber hose. That's all we really need right now. Empty gas can. We have one in the car. Yeah, of course there's going to be a few in here. Let's see, what else do we have? Some snacks, tire iron. Okay, so nothing super useful, unfortunately. Let's see. So all the mechanics magazines, pretty much, which makes sense for a mechanic shop. Let's go ahead and take care of this zombie here. Okay. Corset. Okay, somebody's watching their figure. Sounds like somebody's coming in through the back door now. Yeah. Well, we'll make tracks here pretty quickly. I don't think I'm grabbing too much. Let's look in the back room. Okay, this is where they keep all the good stuff. Whole bunch of tools. Again, if we were leveling up mechanics, we would definitely swing back by here. It's definitely going to be a repeat looting spot for us in the future. But for now, it does not have quite what we're looking for. Let's grab a drink. Okay. Flashlight, magazine, crossword. Working ratchets, more tires, coveralls. Coveralls actually aren't bad as clothing to use. I think they do a little bit of defense, so. Not most people's style, though. Okay, I think I'm going to call it here. Not a wasted run by any means, but we're just not going to really get anything else that we're looking for right now, and I don't feel like fighting any more zombies for the time being. Let's eat another donut. Mainly to clear some space. We're a little weighed down right now. So if we could cut our weight, ironically, by eating donuts, we're going to cut our inventory weight. Let's start heading back up the road here. Making our way on the main road here. Generally speaking, there tend to be a lot of burned out cars and vehicles on the bridge between West Point and Louisville, or at least the outskirts of Louisville. But if tradition stays true, we can use the railroad tracks just up here to the northwest to cross over safely. Even in the midst of the outbreak, people were not driving over the railroad tracks, so we have a nice, easy way across this bridge. Now again, if I've heard correctly, we have a newer gas station that's actually very, very close by near the drag strip and a couple other retail buildings. So hopefully, if that's not too populated with Zeds, we can stop by there, refuel, maybe even fill up our gas canister, and continue on our journey. Again, this is pretty much a barren stretch of land for the better part all the way through Build 41. But as you can see there, the dinosaur logo, that means we do have a gas station right here. So I'm going to pull in. Again, I'm going to be kind of casual. I'm going to pull up to the pump here. I'm going to probably turn the engine off, just not to attract too much attention. And we're going to hop out, get ready to do some zombie fighting. So we have at least 5 or 6 in the immediate area. I like to see that ice freezer, though. Those are my favorite freezers. Okay, let's grab a couple, and we'll take them around back to talk business. Now, again, I'm a little weighed down, so this is not the smartest time to be fighting zombies. We haven't done too much fighting today, so I'm hoping our crowbar is powerful enough. Also, I've heard that there is a little bit more variability in the hearing ranges that zombies kind of can detect action coming from. So right there, that guy probably should have heard us fighting. So should have that guy. But in this case, we got lucky. I'm going to check out the back rooms first here. I think this is the bathrooms. Yes. Okay. Can be very cautious. Bathrooms tend to really sneak up on people. I've lost many runs to just popping open a door, being a little distracted, and then boom. Ooh, look at all these gas cans. Ooh. All I need is a generator hooked up to the station, and we are in luck. Did not take the smoking trait on this playthrough, because it's a little annoying to keep up with. Ooh, forging. Yeah, they have forging now, so you can use blacksmith abilities. But again, that's sort of a later game ability. So it's something if you have the luxury of practicing. And our joiners have come from the road. These folks saw us pulling into the gas station. I had a hunch they would probably make it all the way to the pumps. And sure enough, they have. We have a key. Don't know where that dart is, but apparently they've also adjusted the way that the key spawns work. So now it's not just you kill a near vehicle, you'll find that vehicle's key. Apparently the new rule actually has to do with where the zombie originally spawns. So they could spawn next to a vehicle, and then they could walk for 4 days and be like half a mile away and still have that vehicle's key. So it's a little bit more realistic, but that also means it's a little trickier when you're trying to find keys for certain vehicles. Got a bunch of non-perishables, which is great. However, I'm not finding my magazine, which is a bummer. Yeah, not seeing it, not seeing it. Okay, well, let's eat the other donut that we have before that goes bad. And I think we can refuel fairly safely. I want to take care of that guy. And we'll also look around to see if there's any other zombies at the pumps. Sorry, Jed Kirkland. Okay, we're a little out of breath here. We've been fighting. We're a little way down. We're a little sweaty. And of course, it's a little toasty. We're pushing 80 degrees, which I'm sure feels a little bit warmer in Kentucky. So let's fuel up and get on our merry way here. There we are. Alright, back on the road again with a full tank of gas. Now, I'm actually not going to go traditionally down the road that we would towards Louisville. We're actually going to hang a right here and head down this side road. That's because there's a few other retail locations. One of which we can see here called Pole Position. I'm going to assume this is a race car themed workout gym where people can stay in shape. And this van actually looks really nice. Let's see, is this in decent condition? We can always put like a handful of gas in it and drive it right over to the pumps next door. Ooh, that's not too shabby actually. The windows are a little rough. The front right brake might fail on me, but this could be usable. Let's check here. Look at all this. So we got seats. This is a passenger van. So more seats, less trunk space, which is not ideal. We would rather have, in my opinion, the extra trunk space, but 15 plastic bags. Somebody saves. But all the seats can hold 20, which is nice. Oh, need to unlock the trunk. Okay. Let's see what's in here. Oh, look at that. I see the key right here. This might be for this actual van right here. Retro in. So 45 on the trunk. And yes, this is in fact the key for this van. Taking that out because there is no fuel in the tank, so it's not going to go anywhere. This is a sort of a cargo vehicle. It's not technically a van. It's more of a truck on its own right, but let's see what the condition looks like. I don't know if I can fix that lock. It's a step van, actually, right there. Chevalier step van. Took a peek under the hood here. And the engine could be better. The muffler is going to be a little loud. Gas tank is kind of rough, but again, it's usable. However, if we can't access the trunk... Yeah, the lock is broken on the trunk. I guess we can access it from the inside. Oh my goodness. This is a survivor's truck. The whole thing is full. Ammunition box, shells, bandolier, firewood bundle, welding, bolt cutters. Wow. Okay, that's a pretty big find. Does this have gas? No. Okay, holy crap. There's a duffel bag here full of canned food. Okay, this is like a little, we've got fresh leather gloves, which we will actually use instead of our current ones. These are fresh and they don't have any holes inside of them. But my goodness, this person was ready for the end, it seems. Maybe they came here to get one last workout in. I don't like these guys, so we're going to take care of them real quick. So, I've got some decisions to make here, because this obviously has better cargo space. It only has the 2 seats, but it has this trunk space that is 67. Although if you're doing quick math, you might realize that the multiple seats in this van might actually afford better storage than this step van. Because we have effectively one usable seat, the passenger, and the 67, so that's 87 total space, 87 kilos. In this van, we have the trunk, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other seats of 20 each. So right there, the seats account for 100 kilos worth of space, and the trunk itself is 45. So this passenger van is actually better for our money than the step van. So what I think I might do is post up here for the evening at this adult gym, and what we're going to do is move everything from the step van and the Jeep into the larger van, and we'll use this to continue on our way since it's got all that extra uh, amazing storage capacity. Let's take a peek at some of these other vehicles, though, while we're in the lot. You know, I wonder if there is actually a TV in the whole position here, because if there is, we could still catch our 6 o'clock show. I think we are still technically in the first week of survival. I don't like that sound at all. I don't know if I've heard that sound before. Oh! Uh-oh. Looks like some of the patrons and employees have succumbed to the virus. I'll try to bottleneck him here if I can. Okay, let's close that door for a hot minute. We're gonna have to check some stuff here. We are tense, we are on edge. Things are looking a little dicey. We're okay on health. They're gonna come through that door any second now. So can we do anything to buff ourselves up? I don't think so. We're just gonna have to deal with these guys as is. Here we go. I guess this gives a whole new definition of clubbing. Oh! Luckily we already have a couple of bite cures, because I have a hunch our first bite of the game might be happening sooner than we wanted to. My character is getting quite tired. I'm a bit worried that this might foretell what happens at the airport in the distant future. So I'm already rethinking my plans of leaving West Point. But who knows? Oops. Getting a little out of breath. We are still looking okay on health. We have minor muscle strain. Come on. I think we might have to get a little creative here. I'm going to break one of my biggest rules. We're using the Jeep. Okay. Scan the area for a moment. Kill the engine, get out. Let's check the Jeep first, just to see how much damage I really just did. Okay, we could have been worse. Again, that's why when I'm running over zombies, if it's an essential thing to do, I like to back over them. Because generally when you're driving around, the accidents will happen in the front of the vehicle, and you want to keep the hood in good condition to protect the engine. So backing over tends to be a little bit safer in my opinion, as long as you don't glitch and flip over in the air. We are a little out of breath, but otherwise we will be able to handle this. If I could find a bed, that would be nice to spend the night, because I don't think we're going to really make any more travel today. Ooh, we got a lot more Zeds in here. Yeah, let's go back out the front. Close that door. And I'm actually going to pop a squat. Again, we're going to try to get out of the stink zone, so we don't smell those corpses. We'll sit on the ground here. That door is jiggling, so we might see a customer coming out of that exit. But we're just going to stay seated here for a minute. Try to regain a little bit of our stamina. Again, we are still very tired, but we can't really do much about that. Oh my goodness! Oh no! I did not see them at all. Okay, let's walk away here. Take inventory. We've been lacerated. Okay, we need to get a bandage. I think I might need to rip something here to actually stop the bleeding here temporarily. Let's rip this tank top. It's going to take a while, unfortunately. So we're going to have to get in this Jeep and just get out of Dodge for now. We'll get to a safe spot. And then I'll figure out how to patch this wound up. Luckily we can at least accelerate a little bit while we're doing the ripping here. This laceration implies a, I believe, 25% chance of getting infected. So we will bandage this up, and we will keep an eye on the wound. But I'm not going to assume that we get the virus until we start showing a little bit of a... Oh, we do have our bigger bandage. Let's use this one here, actually. Oh, I need to stop for the whole bandage process. Okay, bandage. Not gonna work. There we go. Okay, that is tied up. We have stopped the bleeding for now. And we're gonna keep going on this road. Again, this does happen to be the direction of the mall. That is the drag strip right there on our left side. Again, that's been there for a while. That's been there since before 42. That's been there for most of the Build 41 era. But for now, we're going to keep going down this road. I need to find somewhere safe to sleep because I am ridiculously tired. And we honestly might end up sleeping in the Jeep for the night, which is very, very dangerous. You do not want to do that. Your character is in severe pain as well, so we have to take some painkillers to get to sleep tonight. Do we have any snacks? No. Okay. Well, we'll have to come back around, I think, for the sake of all those goodies that we left at the pole position club. But for now, I think we consider that lucky that we were able to get out with our life. Again, that's all it takes. One zombie that you just didn't see. I was just resting, sitting on the ground, catching my breath, and boom. Didn't get bit, but I got a pretty bad laceration on the right forearm there. I'm sure it created some sort of hole in the jacket I was wearing, so we'll have to look into that. Protection, yep, look at that. Right forearm is exposed. I basically tore that whole sleeve off. Okay, I haven't seen a zombie in a minute. Oh. Let's try to pass this one up. Again, I can't really fight at all due to my injury and my level of tiredness, so I would like to find an abandoned house, shack, shed, anything with a bed inside would be nice. Otherwise, we will be basically reclining our seat and spending the night in the Jeep. You know what, I think that might be our best bet at this juncture. We are far enough away from that other zombie that we just passed. I'm going to park right about here. We're going to kill the engine so we're not making all that noise throughout the evening. It is very warm in this vehicle, 95 degrees. So that's not good, but I think we take our painkillers and we attempt to sleep through the night. So let's see if this works. Okay. Very risky sleep here. We're in minor pain. We're a little tense, that's understandable. But that is a successful night's sleep. We need to switch our bandage out. Still lacerated. We're going to use another disinfected. And we're going to use a temporary bandage here, the adhesive bandage. And that is just until I can get to a sink so that we can clean a bandage up for future usage. Keep going out this way. I believe we have passed the mall area, but I do see a little parking lot up here, so we'll check out this spot. It is Cats. Looks like a cafe. Again, we're going to bleed right through that bandage pretty quickly, so... Looks like I lost my hat, too. Didn't even notice that. Okay. Let's take a peek inside. Maybe we can get some breakfast here. Hand drill, padlock, and nothing that great there. Sugar packet. Guess that's some calories. Ooh, we can drink. That's nice. Fill our bottle. Definitely forgot about water during all the kerfuffle on a previous day. Let's see what they've got in the kitchen for us. Does not seem like this is a very busy cafe when the outbreak occurred. Cow's milk. Let's drink all that. Get our calcium. Bucket, coffee, more cleaning liquid. Well, we can clean our rags, I think. Wash, rag, yes. Actually, why don't we wash ourselves here? That wouldn't be a bad idea. Bandage for sure. Oh, I think I used all the water in that one. Keep forgetting that the water is already out, so all the water we find is basically borrowed water. Let's see here. What do we have going? So for my jacket, yeah, we got the one hole in the police jacket, so we need a 20-30 bite scratch defense jacket, something for the torso. Again, I'm not quite sure how the defense ratings work, but that very small defensive bump might have been the difference between a laceration and a bite. Again, not quite sure how that works or how it's calculated. We are still in quite a bit of pain. Keeping my eyes out for possible viral infection signs. Again, pain from a laceration on the forearm is not really super unique to the virus. That's going to happen anytime you rip open your forearm. So I'm looking for more of that queasy, uneasy, tense, and fever-like symptoms. That'll kind of be an indication. If I start seeing those, I will just take one of our doses of, what is it called again? Zomboxavir. Zomboxavir ampule. But I'd like to save those until absolutely sure that I am infected. Or at least reasonably suspicious. Sometimes you'll exhibit symptoms, and it'll be sort of a false positive or false symptomatics, but you generally will always exhibit some symptoms if you are truly infected. So better to be on the safe side. Go around these guys. Okay. Let's do a little loop-de-loop around this area here. I think this is actually the movie theater. I think this is a newer area. Let's pull in and see. We have quite a few Zeds shambling around, so I don't know. This might be a dangerous spot to just go through. I might actually have to lead them away, but yes, right here we have the big old building. This is the movie theater. I'm guessing they show a lot of horror films here. Star E-Plex. So yes, terrifying area to be in. I would not want to really stop here right now. I'm just kind of getting a lay of the land just to see what we're looking at in terms of population. Looks like there's a big old glass window there that's about to be shattered any moment. A couple of nice looking vehicles. Propane delivery, Zenith Glass Studio. So some of those might have loot worth checking out. But for the time being, I'm not really up to fight all of these creatures, so I'm gonna do one loop around here. And if this is in fact the movie theater, then the mall should be nearby. It's over here to the east a bit more. We have some buildings north of this area, but I want to check out the mall first. Supply looks like an emergency construction van. That might be a good thing for loot. Again, I passed up on a few duffel bags, I know, but haven't really been in the best spot to grab them yet. Police officer, that might have a new jacket I can use. And this area has got a lot of looting potential. I just don't think I can maximize on it right now, given my condition. I feel like I'd see another hazmat zombie pretty soon, though, considering the population here. There's quite a few crawling around. And there we go, the Crossroads Mall. This is sort of my big landmark for this episode, what I wanted to get to and check out, just to see if this is possible. Again, I'm kind of driving around this big old, well, not big, but very loud Jeep, so I'm not surprised I'm drawing a lot of zombie attention. That's also why I'm not stopping. Kind of seeing how far they're willing to follow this vehicle, and if it might be worth using the vehicle to kind of draw more zombies away from these points of interest. Then I could circle back on foot and do a little bit looting safer. However, I don't have the weight capacity, the strength, and I don't have really anywhere to take said loot, so I need to create kind of a new temporary base. Unless I'm able to get all the way to the airport in the next day or two, I'm going to be in trouble on this run through. So let's go around north. Oh, I think that is a hazmat zombie right there. Let's knock him out. Is he dead yet? Yeah, I think we got him. It's on site with those guys. They have the cures on them. Everybody else, though, we are avoiding. Wow, these pockets are getting big. What was that? I think that's the big hiking bag. That's the big hiking bag right there. I think that's the best hiking bag, to my knowledge, in the game that that guy's wearing. At least one of the best. It's not the military one, but I think it is the biggest one that is not military. So I might do a little cheeky loop around and try to knock that guy out real quick, but we'll see. This could be very much not worth it. I don't think I'm going to get him the way this crowd is shaping up. So let's keep drawing all these guys away. Again, this horde has now grown to about 50 that are following us, which I do not like. That's another hazmat suit right there. Oh wait, no, he's not. Those people with the all black and long hair I think are hazmats until we get closer. Get a little optimistic. Okay, I think at this juncture we can accelerate a bit more to try to lose that big group. And we'll check out some of these side buildings. But frankly, I think this whole area is sort of a death wish if I keep hanging out here. So let's do a loop around here, check out these buildings, and then I honestly might just leave this area altogether. Come back when we're stronger, you know, better off. Ooh, we do have gas. That's a great thing to have nearby. So we got gasoline there. Just gonna zip through here real fast and see what else. We got a clothing store. Insurance, sweet bats. Sweet eats. I don't know, I see a bee there, bats. Sweet eats, so a little confectionery shop. Oh my goodness. So many Zeds. Yeah, I think this is not really worth sticking around for. I think we're gonna call it on this zone right now, and let's see, was I able to lose that big horde? I don't know. I'm not gonna go back around and check. Let's keep going up the road here. Again, I did look at the Build 42 main map just to get an idea of the location of the airport. So that is our current destination. We're still headed towards the airport. If at all possible, that's where we will make a large, long-term base. However, if that mall was any indication, if the horde populations are like that at the airport, we have our work cut out for us. And I honestly might not be able to do it at all. But we shall see. I think we have enough time in the day, as long as I'm able to not succumb to the zombie virus. Do a little littering here. I also need to get more food at some point. Keep an eye on our forearm there. This is all uncharted waters for me. I don't think I've been in this area in any build of the game, actually, because it was pretty much all just deserted forest the whole time. As I mentioned, that's a school bag. That's not really worth coming back for. I've already got one of those. Oh, we have a under construction development there. That's interesting. But anyways, as I was saying, I've never been to the Louisville airport. It was built for Build 42, so it's entirely new. I do like that there's some smaller suburban areas, though, so we can still do some old school looting. Ooh, a food market. This might be lunch. Yep, I think this is lunch. I'm gonna kill the engine for this bit. Well, it takes a little slice of the urban life to really appreciate some of these rural areas. Suddenly it seems so much more peaceful. Got some stale, almost everything is stale or rotten at this point. I'm guessing onions and potatoes are probably the only things that haven't gone totally bad. But of course we still have our delicious stuff. 2 boxes of garbage bags, that's not bad. Eat some yogurt. Let's see, still got dried items, chips, rotten bread. Now again, the rotten items have a use still, especially in Build 42. They can be thrown into a composting bin and create fertilizer for your crops. And as I mentioned, I didn't change many of the settings, but the one setting I did adjust is crop seasonality. I turned that off because I just think it's crazy that you go through all the effort of growing crops and then you can't harvest anything until almost 9 months after the game begins. That just seems kind of crazy to me. Keeping up on our water here. You gotta stay hydrated. Ooh, steel sheets. A whole bunch of useful mechanic tools. That's kind of nice for a food mart. Got a burger shop next door as well. Let's go check that out. One zombie there. We might leave them hanging out. Honestly, I might just leave the burger shop altogether. I don't think we need anything from it. And the local youth seem like they still have a stake at the burger shop, so we'll let them have their fun. And we're going to get back on the road here. The road to the Louisville airport. Keeping my eye on that wound here. We're still experiencing pain. No, there's no reason we can't have the AC on. So 95 degrees in this car is not fun for anyone. So yeah, back on the dead road. Project Zomboid. I feel like, however, I might need to take a quick glance at this map here real quick. Okay. Actually very glad that I did do that check because I was going to take a back route to the airport. There are military checkpoints that you have to get through. There's the main one that's on the sort of western side of Louisville. There's a secondary one near a burned out village where all of the houses are already burned down, possibly an early attempt at curbing the spread of the virus. But I did spot on the map a newer crossing on the east side here, almost the far east side of the map. Go down these side streets to get to it. So this is the best way I could spot to get to the Louisville airport without incurring the wrath of too many zombies. Takes us through some of these smaller little rural community areas. But again, I'm hoping to keep things kind of low-key for now. Honestly, looking at the clock here, it's almost 3 p.m. Some feeding zombies still on the side. We'll take this road up. I think I might start looking for a house to spend the evening at. Ooh, is that a sunflower field I see? A few zombies. A well. There is a rain collection barrel. That's actually not a bad little spot. Keep that in mind for future reference. We might be circling back to this area. I like that. I like that layout. Good number of zombies chilling there, but otherwise it looks pretty nice. Pretty nice. But alas, we want to get eyeballs on our ultimate prize here at the Louisville airport. Again, this will be inside of the exclusion zone, so we won't have to worry about getting past the checkpoint after today if we go as far as I'm hoping. There will be some obstacles in our way. We might have to actually use the sledgehammer, which is why I made sure to bring it. But hopefully not too much. Again, I'm playing a kind of a delicate balancing act here because we're starting to get drowsy. The more tired we get, the weaker we get. The weaker we get, the harder it'll be to clear out zombies at a potential safe house for the evening. So, oh, and there is a whole big pack of them right here. I'm just going to drive around that. I do see a very large backpack on one of them, so I'm going to keep that in mind. For now, we are leaving them in the dust. I do not have the patience or the strength to deal with that right now. I'm going to kind of take it easy till we can heal up that arm injury. Here we go, making our way. And there you go, sure enough. Luckily, they haven't all seen me yet. They are kind of gathered up there. I don't think I can drive through any of those barriers. But yeah, you see that road on the mini-map there? That's where we're trying to go. Oops, let's scroll over here. We want to take this road east, I believe east on South Park Road. And that should bring us towards the airport. I just don't know, however, let me get out. Crouch. See, yeah, that gate is all blocked off. I actually have to have a sledgehammer, or I have to physically hop it and run the rest of the way, which I don't even know if I can do that. I think that is barbed wire on the top of the fence. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to use a sledgehammer. Which is unfortunate because there's a lot of zombies here. Actually, I think that is a hazmat zombie in that small group. Yes, it is. So at least one of them will have a useful cure on hand. But I don't think I could take all these on at the same time. So my best bet is to find a way to distract them and come around with a sledgehammer and knock out those fences. But for now, we're going to have to backtrack because this is a suicide mission. I might end up actually going through that military checkpoint. I believe those are kind of packed with zombies, but they're easier to actually drive through. And I think you might need to sledge a couple things, but not like a whole barrier like I'm looking at here. So let's backtrack to some of those houses we saw. We could post up for the night. I really don't want to sleep 2 nights in a row in the car, especially with an injury. There, of course, are our little horde that we passed earlier, loyally following us down the road. But again, I think we should be able to lose them by the time we get to any useful houses. I would go down there, but it's a little close. I want to get a little bit more distance between me and that horde. This area doesn't look too bad. There's a few zombies, but I think I'm going to go back to that first one I saw with all the sunflowers. That seemed like a decent spot. So we will keep making our way down here. Again, I'm going to start feathering the engine here so I'm not making too much noise as we kind of get into the slightly more populated areas. I see here, actually, there's a house here. This might be what we use. There's a few zombies. I'm going to guess probably half a dozen or so, maybe 12 total. We'll kill the engine. Oh, yeah, we'll kill the engine and we'll just fight it out for now. Got my crowbar on hand. I'm going to try to just handle these in 2 sections. So I've got these 5 over here, and the other half dozen are on the left side of the house. Okay. That took a little bit more effort than I was hoping. But we're still doing okay. We're a little tired, a little bit of pain, we're a little way down, but otherwise, we're hanging in there. Getting a little sweaty, which makes sense. It's getting hotter out, because we're experiencing a heat wave here in Knox County. Let's see if I can go inside this shed first, then I'll deal with the rest of the zombies. Come on, open up. There we go. Okay. Couple in the field. I don't think they saw me yet. Let's hop through the window here. Ooh, we got animal care. Watering cans, not a bad thing to find. Bunch of seed packets. Growing seasons, which again is not super useful because I turned the seasonality off. Animal feed bag, though, that's a good find. 6 of those. That's a lot of animal feed. You know what? I think I might pop a squat on this stool just for a moment. And we will rest up here. Regain a little bit of our stamina before we go into more fighting. Okay, that'll be good. And look at that, we've got 4 or 5 in front of the house. 1 in front of that shed. So let's try to just pull off a couple more. Let them see me. He's getting up, so he sees me. And again, see, I'm starting to grow weak from being tired. I'm sure this bandage is going to get soaked with blood eventually. It's been holding out pretty well today, though. It's like 1 more, 2 more. Not quite on me yet. There we go. That's 1, that's 2. Okay, walk away. We got all the time in the world. Not really worried so much about catching TV shows anymore in the playthrough. Again, you can only get up to, I believe, level 3 on any skill from watching TV. Which is very nice in the early game. Okay. Got this residence key, actually. I think this should be for this house. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, the residence keys no longer guarantee that they are from the residence closest to the zombie when you killed it. They actually are more likely to coordinate to the resident closest when the zombie spawned in. So keep that in mind. Let's do a little whisper, see if we can catch their attention here. Hey, you guys. Hey, guys. There we go. I got a secret. I got a secret to tell you guys over here. It has to do with the crowbar. I don't want to spoil it, though. definitely tell I'm getting weaker as the fighting continues. These are taking forever to dispatch. Okay. Now I know I've got at least 2 or 3 more to deal with here. There's a couple in the field which I might still have to take care of before we go any further into the house. There's a body there. That's not from my doing, so... Yeah, there's 2 out there. I'd rather not fight them if I don't have to. I am tired. Close that here. Look at that. Why don't we grab one of these and place it? Got some wooden chairs. And we can rest on said chair. While we're staring out of the window here, we're going to fast forward just a bit. Again, I just want to catch my breath. And we're hoping that there is not 100 zombies in the house, and hopefully a little bit of food, and a decent bed. A pillow would be nice, but I'll take just a bed at this point. We're going to fast forward super speed here. We're getting ridiculously tired. It is 8 p.m. Knox County time, 9 p.m. now. Let's get up. We have very little fighting ability right now because of how tired we are, so fortunately we know there's at least 1 zombie in here. There we are. We'll have him follow us out here to the front yard. Take care of him. Oh, I see. Got another resident in the top window there on the 2nd floor. So that is yet another one we have to deal with. Oh, the camera in the house. We still have our 2nd floor? Yes, we do. Okay. And that's why we rest, folks. Gotta rest up between fights. Because 1 zombie could turn into 3. 3 could turn into 10. Pretty quick. I think there's another one behind the house, too, actually. If I had to guess. Whew. Okay, I'm going to crouch here, and we will take a peek along the side of the house. See if somebody's rattling this tree. Oh, sounds like somebody broke that 2nd story window. I don't think she's going to jump out of it directly, though, so let's double check. Nope, just broke it for the sake of breaking a window. Oh. This is a different zombie, I believe. Who's hitting the windows? I do not like the way this is going. Let me get outside again. Somebody's beating up against a window. Maybe she went to the other window upstairs? Probably. She's going to close the front door because we know we got a couple Zeds outside. Kick this light on and we'll see what we got. Yep, she must have moved to the bedroom. Oh, maybe she came downstairs. Okay, well, that's disconcerting. I wish I had a concrete answer on who was making that window noise, but maybe that was just right before we started fighting. Let's turn off this light. And we'll see if we can find a pillow for the bed and get a decent night's sleep here. Ooh, first aid kit, not a bad find. We'll just put this on the floor right now so we can look inside. Got more bandages, adhesives, suture needles, all the good stuff. And of course, water. check our bandage here. Still looking good. We'll leave that on as is. We are in minor pain. I think we can still sleep with that pain, though. And I don't see the zombies in the field. I'm hoping that means that they have just decided to leave. But for now, I think that is going to be good. We will bed down for the evening and see what the future brings us. Again, hopefully we're not infected, but if we are, we do have the Zombox Severe ampules. So we will be able to cure ourselves if we realize that we are in fact going to turn. But for now, I think that's good for a day of exploration. And if you made it this far in the video, please feel free to like and subscribe to keep up with our Project Zomboid adventure here in Build 42 with the They New mod installed. On today's episode, we have finally found the virus cure itself, or at least 2 doses, which affords us a little bit more flexibility and exploration. We made quite a bit of headway on exploring the Knox County area, primarily with going northeast here in the West Point to Louisville route. You can see here where we started the day over in our main sort of safe house in West Point. We went all the way through here. We almost got bit, but we definitely got lacerated at Pole Position Club. We checked out the mall and the movie theater and realized that we don't want to hang out there too often. And finally, we discovered that our back road to the airport might in fact be a little trickier than we expected. But until next time, this has been Tallidus Plays.